The Comedy Store would like you to know that the views and opinions expressed on this podcast are strictly those of the speakers or authors and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by the Comedy Store and its affiliates.
My friend put a video up. He was in Calgary, and it was like fucking hailing, but it wasn't like just a regular rain. And to be honest, the last couple rains I've been in were a little
suspicious.
Extra.
Are you starting to buy into the conspiracy theories going out there?
The frogs are a-coming.
All I can say is...
Ribbit, fuckers. Ribbit. That's why I'm wearing green, because I want them to...
You're trying to blend in with frogs?
I couldn't even do a frog.
Guys, welcome back to what used to be the Comedy Store podcast.
This is
now
the skeleton bones.
Eleanor's been on the East Coast, and
I've literally moved to the East Coast.
What happened is Eleanor has now been swept up in what's called Italian theory, and that's very little fact and quite a bit of just I heard from a guy, I'm just saying type talk.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who heard.
All I'm saying is the Chinese, there's a billion of them, right?
So
and
they got to be doing something.
And all of a sudden the weather's changing?
Oh, yeah.
You tell me.
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying.
Somebody did say that. Somebody in Philadelphia, and I am related to them, said, don't the Chinese control the weather? And I'm like, what?
It's very believable if you don't understand anything.
Have you heard this new, the sky's not really the sky, it's a projection of something to have you seen that?
I haven't, but it makes
good.
Total sense. I've seen the Truman Show. I understand the sky. You can just project it onto a dome. It's not that hard.
Did you like the Truman Show?
I remember liking it when it came out.
I remember hating the ending.
Yeah, he just like walks out and
just the acting. He was killing it the whole thing, and then I don't know. You find out your whole life is fake, and that's it.
He gives him a big cheesy line.
Right.
He dramatically.
Fuck out of here. Like that part bothered me.
Oh,
whatever.
And if I don't see you again. And then what he should have done is just gone and bookend it. And
right.
we'll edit that in post.
Like he should have just danced up the steps. I don't know.
And
that part bothered me.
And then the pig lady that had already gotten booted that he was in love with.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like celebrating on the thing. And
pig lady. That wasn't a fart. That was the chair.
Eleanor's over here
lady.
burning down the studio.
Let's put that fan back on.
So we're here. We don't have spots.
Right. We're just hanging out, hoping for a fallout. I got Rick to come in on a night without a spot, and that is a big deal. I feel like I've changed the world somehow.
We're just here.
I've definitely offset the universe slightly.
I've already made some calls to the top, and I'm gonna do earthquake type time tonight.
If you get a fallout, do 30 to 35.
At least.
Definitely.
And if anyone says anything, I'm gonna be like, I wish someone was here.
I wonder though, like, and again, I'm not defending, but like, because earthquake was only really working here, Fat Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so we switched the light in the main room. Mm-hmm. I wonder if he only knows the bow.
Yeah, but
does that make sense?
Yeah, like if he saw the light up there, he'd probably be like, "Hey, I should just definitely do another 35 anyway, for sure." Yeah, I think he was just like,
really
"Hey,
annoying.
I'm doing well, and
running
it's a
the
good
light
time." And
is a real LA thing. I got to be honest. If it happens in New York, because I've turned and I've become a New York comic.
Wow.
No, but I mean, just working there so much lately in between instead of like flying back here in between gigs.
Right.
So I get to hang out with my mama, and then I just go do spots around the city. And so I've noticed you have to be like gigantic, Chappelle-ish. Well, I don't think this person's gigantic, but they do long times. I forgot his name. Fuck. The Indian guy. They tried to... Aziz. That's it. Aziz. I don't think he's gigantic, but I get it.
Yeah, he's a famous person.
Right. I get it. Yeah. But and even he did like maybe 30.
Okay.
But everybody was like, and that's not crazy,
No. Yeah.
But here, when I first started, like, Eddie Griffin, Paul Mooney, Dice, they would do like hour and a half, like
Yeah, easily.
crazy.
Rogan was doing an hour and a half.
Was he doing that long?
When I started, yeah.
Because I remember she would block out at least 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes for him.
Yeah, it'd say 30 minutes, and then he would do like an hour pretty consistently. But I mean, like that was the way it was. If you were the celebrity, you could do that. Eddie Griffin was the only other famous person that was coming in, and Joe was like, this was Fear Factor Joe, so
yeah,
it wasn't like he didn't have like the salivating fan base of dudes. So he had like a fan base, but it was like MMA guys and some Fear Factor.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely had a little
middle Americans.
I can remember.
But he was way more aggressive. He wasn't quite as stoner-ish.
Right.
So it was a lot more aggressive, and he would like get into arguments with people.
He wasn't smoking weed yet.
Yeah.
He didn't start. That was something people forced him to do.
This was like right when he started, because I remember people were like, well, he's a lot more chill, and I'm like, this is more chill?
Yeah.
And then he became like stoner, where it's like he was going.
Dude,
for a while, he wouldn't smoke before he went up.
All right.
And then he became stoner. And once he started smoking, he started kicking out way less people.
That's so funny. Yeah, I do remember the few fights, a few fights, I should say, with him and audience members.
And then he'd buy everyone shots. And I'm
right.
God, such a good move.
This is awesome. This is great. But in his club, which is awesome, the Mothership, he has the big clock. Like we were joking, like if you run the light at his club, like you're just being a dick because it's so big, the clock. Like you literally see 15:02 and you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like,
smart.
And if he does Rogan and Friends, where he'll do at the end, usually he'll do like an hour, but he had extra people on there the night I was there, and so he cut his time, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, you know what I mean? And it was still like a killer show. It was like Shane Gillis, Mark Norm, Roseanne went out. Dice did not go on. Me, I'm going to add to that killer show.
Damn. Who would you say?
Hinchcliffe.
Who would you say was more menacing, Hinchcliffe or Roseanne Barr?
Wow, that's tough. No, I'm just kidding. I would have to still go with Tony on that. Roseanne was that night, Roseanne was very funny.
Who is more likely to wake up with Tom Arnold?
Tony Hinchcliffe.
So,
what did Boone used to say about him?
Tony Click Clack.
Tony Click Clack. That's it.
Yeah, he's got a big dick, so.
We did have fun, though. Like, it was a lot of fun. Like, you could feel the difference in, like, people are just happy to be, like, in Austin, and this club
At a
finally
real club.
opened.
Yeah.
And there's real audience, and it's fucking...
Yeah.
The club itself is beautiful. And Dice, we did a show in the Little Room. Like,
Okay.
he did, like, he wanted to do a free show. We're going back in August to do a whole weekend, but he just was doing one night. And we had so much fun in that little room. I mean, he loved it. He's
How
like,
many?
this is fucking great.
What's the seater in the?
I'm not. I want to say maybe 100 in the one room, and then like
It's like a belly room,
right? But then only like 150, 180 in the other room. And I've been getting fact checked a lot, so I apologize if I'm wrong.
What an idiot! That's why you don't let women do the math. Is there any way we can just? I did send that straight to Fox News and see if we can't get some airtime.
Cancel that. But yeah, it was the vibe overall in the club was just fun. It was just
unlike some podcasts. I want to make sure that we are not misinformation distributors.
Did you look it up?
The Fat Man holds 240 seats.
Oh, fuck me in the ass.
240.
That's the big one.
That's the big one.
Okay, what about the little one?
The little one holds 100, about 100.
Okay, so I was right on that. That's the one I mean,
Technically,
I did
I was right on that. And
But the second one I fucked up. See,
You
I
really
was short
shortchanged
100
him.
on
The one that
second
matters,
one.
the main room.
you tried
Yes.
to really make them look like a bunch of fucking pipsqueaks. This
No,
is
I
war,
just-
Eleanor. You did
This
it.
is war. This is my thing. I didn't like you just it feels so intimate. Like you didn't like when you go in the main room, if it's half empty and that curtain's not down, you feel it.
It feels better.
It feels uncomfortable.
It's
It
great.
feels naked.
You want it
But
cavernous.
this room, the way it's set up, it feels like we're being hugged. I can't explain it. It's so good.
It honestly looks like the set from Goldie's on that I'm Dying Up Here TV show.
No, I can't think of what it looked like.
Does,
Goldie's.
does it
I
feel
mean,
like the store, like with all the old staff? That I haven't asked anybody. Like you're a store person. I've spoken to people who went.
I will say it felt
Does it have like a La Jolla vibe?
no. I can't. It just has a. I think it's the audience. I'm going to be honest. Like they are true comedy fans, so the energy is just all fucking comedy.
There's
Like,
no woke
you don't
people
feel-
because it's Austin.
Yeah, you don't
And-
feel like tourists mellowing about like, what are we getting ourselves into? You know what I mean? Like
I
they're
love those people though.
we do, yeah. That brings a certain element.
Send
but I
those
mean,
people home.
everybody that came in knew everything. It was like doing a comedy festival where they just were so obsessed with comedy. And the club itself is fucking gorgeous. And then the green room, you're like, it's so nice in there. Andrew was like, I wouldn't put this there. I'm like, don't redecorate, weirdo. You know,
No, the feng shui is all fucked up.
nobody knows that Andrew's like secretly a decorator.
This is what Dice does the decorating.
I would have put this kind of carpet. I'm like, Andrew, no, that's not. Don't tell Joe that. It's great. Just say it's great. Move
This
on.
room needs a shag.
Like a Berber carpet. But the one of the greatest moments was Andrew's doing the little man. Okay, the little man, right? A little boy.
The one. What'd you
Little
say? The
boy.
one that has 15 seats
No,
in
I
it,
said
Eleanor.
100. I said
Trying to
100 in that one.
Oh yeah, all right.
But I messed up on I was 100 short in the main room. So, but 100 in that room. But Andrew's on stage and he's having a blast because the night before we had done all the lighting and everything, so to set it up like how he feels comfortable.
Right.
Because sometimes the lights fuck with his eyes.
Yeah.
So
Well, I remember the old studio here. He had quite a time with the
He
strobe
put all-
lighting.
he changed his lighting. They literally labeled it Dice lighting.
Smart.
So they don't have to ever touch it again. They could just hit a button. It's already programmed. So, but anyway, so he got it all set up. We were having fun. Asan was like making it all happen and like just making him laugh. Then we had Asan go up and make him stand there so we could watch. We were just being silly. So the next night, Andrew felt really comfortable because we had goofed around in there all night the night before. And then he's on stage. He's fucking crushing. Roseanne's in the back cackling and Rogan's at the door cackling. And I was like, this is so fucking cool. And then like Tony Hinchcliffe's trying to sneak in and I'm like, just stay back.
He's old
Let it-
school.
But they were loving it. It was kind of fun just to watch them watch him. You know what I mean? Because we're so used to being on the road. Nobody sees him do those kind of sets anymore.
Where Dice does the fucking.
Where Dice does the fucking
Yeah.
full blown fucking.
I could see that.
But it was fun, yeah, and yeah, I'm telling you, the club's great. The Mitzi bar is great, and it does feel cool having all the Comedy Store people there because then you don't feel like you're on the road.
Right.
You're like, oh, this is familiar.
Yeah, that's what I meant by like La Jolla vibe. Like I go down there and there's like usually 3 people, and I'm like, oh, all right, some familiar people.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
It's not like where you just show up at a club and you're like, I'm not going to speak to anybody for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
But
I just did a club this weekend, Side Splitters in Tampa.
okay, I've heard of it.
Okay. So when I did it before, I did it
Tampa,
with Dice.
I mean.
What's a?
I've heard of Tampa.
How about not Side Splitters?
Unfamiliar. Go on though. I believe it exists.
Side Splitters is where like Carrie Mitchell, our bartender, she worked there for a long time, and that's how she became.
When you're a comedy club that's known by which bartenders that have started and then moved up in the comedy
all the comics
world.
knew her. That's how she knew Stanhope. That's how she knew like Dom Irera. Like that's how she got her job here because they
Best
vouched
thing
for
that ever
her.
came out of Tampa. Period. Agreed.
Carrie Mitchell.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so all I'm hearing is these great, fun stories. And when I did it, there's a new owner. He's terrific, great guy. And I do it with Dice, and it's awesome, right?
Can we get Pitt in? Pitt is working
Perfect.
Tampa.
Is he in Tampa?
Yeah, that's where he lives now.
Oh,
He works for the
no.
city. Yeah, working for the city out there in Tampa. Not bad. Hopefully got the benefits now. Ain't gonna worry about it.
Does Simone know?
I don't know.
I had Simone, I called Simone. I'm like, hey, are you in town? And then he's like, yeah, I'll bring you. My mom made lasagna. I'm like, naturally.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'll bring you lasagna. And then I'm like, you want to go on? He's like, yeah. So he did a guest spot, but I would have definitely had fucking Pig come up just for my own,
Still doing some of the
for my
old
own heart.
still doing some of the old gold stuff, Eleanor.
I would have loved to have had him.
Yeah, you could have
I
done
would have
that.
recorded it.
You
I
could have
would have
done the
sent it out
Pidcast.
to everybody. It would have been the Pidcast. I could have done. But he was. But anyway, so we're talking about vibes and clubs.
Yeah.
The main club, great,
This
old
is
school,
Side
low
Splitters?
ceiling, yeah, killer in Tampa.
They have more than one club?
Yes. I played, so he brought me back as a headliner. Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
And he sent me to the other location, the Wesley Chapel, right? Just because
That's also in Tampa?
it's like 20 minutes outside of town, 25 minutes outside of
Okay.
town. So
Is it more country? Or are we talking gator people?
I'm not quite sure. The people were great.
Yeah.
Wild, fun, fucking
Okay.
insane. The crowds, except for one show,
Yeah.
where everybody was just kind of staring. But everybody else, fucking awesome. Here's the weird part. I'd never been there to this location.
Yeah.
So I have a rent-a-car. I put in the GPS. It's 2023. You just and follow the fucking arrows, right?
Right.
So I pull up and I'm like, this is a movie theater. So I'm looking around, see anything that says Side Splitters, but the address is this fucking movie theater. And I'm like, the guy did say something about a movie theater. So I'm like, let me just go in there. And I'm literally lost. I'm like, what the fuck? Kids are buying, Little Mermaid's playing. Real movie theater. Like
Yeah.
a real live Spider-Man was playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fuck is happening right now? So I go in, I see a bar and a sign that says Side Splitters. I go, no. And I go, am I in the right place? They go, Eleanor, hey, how are you? And I'm like, oh my God, I remember you, because they work both clubs, all the employees.
Yeah.
So I go and it's in a fucking theater. Spider-Man's here, Side Splitters here, The Blackening's here. Eleanor's headlining right here. It was a movie theater.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, but it was fucking awesome. I can't explain it, but it was awesome.
The
I'm like,
Looney Bin in Staten Island is connected to a bowling alley, and did you ever do the Looney Bin in
No.
I used to perform there. That's where like Pete Davidson got started.
And where is it?
It's called like Palace Entertainment or some shit. It's in between a pizza place and a bowling alley, and as you're doing your set, you just hear pins all over the place.
We had that with the one on Hollywood Boulevard. What was that big?
Lucky Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they-
where we
they had
got
a show
Eric
there for a
from.
long time.
Eric Anderson.
And there was always, it'd be like, if you
Man, oh,
if you
shit.
bombed for 4 seconds, you would hear at least 2 pins being struck.
Trust me, I heard every fucking pin.
It
at that
emphasized
dumb
a
place.
lot.
Yeah.
I only did it once. The second time I went back, the guy told me that I was not dressed properly.
No. Oh yeah, that's right.
'Cause
There
I
was a
had-
dress code.
I had blue jeans on, and I go, "But I'm doing comedy." He's like, "Yeah, you got to dress up." I'm like, "At a fucking bowling alley?" He's like, "That's the deal.
Tiana.
You gotta."
This was Sarah Tiana and Laura Valvidia ran it.
Yeah,
right?
Laura. Yeah.
That's so funny.
And it was just like, all right. And then I just sent a text. I'm like, yeah, they won't let me in somewhere in jeans. So I'll see you guys later. You're a bowling alley.
They did eventually push it to the front, but that one, when I first did it, I remember being like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I fucking doing with my life?
They're just those
Your
special
kids
gigs.
yelling.
I was driving back through Lancaster a couple weeks ago, and
Okay.
it reminded me that I'd done shows there. I think Burger
Sure.
set it up.
Absolutely. The prison. I mean, the bar across the street from the prison.
Yeah, it was like a steakhouse.
Yep. There was 2 places he used to book up there.
Yeah, it was like, dude, you could do as long as you want, and it was like the worst gig ever. There was like just a microphone in front of the Golden Tee.
Yeah.
And I was driving through. I'm just like, man, I haven't been up here since whenever that gig was.
Since Burger was our booker. I
Burger
used to say Burger was my agent because
got me those road gigs just outside of town. And now knowing Johnny Zapp lives up there, it's just,
oh man, you drive a little faster.
it would have been nice to get those gigs now because you could
Johnny could
make the
come
money
out.
and you could see Johnny. He wouldn't have to.
But that was like they were like sometimes $50, $75.
I think this one was
It
like
a big deal.
$150.
It was yeah. I
But
remember
it was like a 2-hour drive, and you performed for like 20 people who were there to drink at the bar. They definitely didn't know or want there to
they
be
were
a
waiting
comedy
for
show.
somebody to get released from prison.
There was a lot of watching sports.
Yeah.
I remember there was a lot of yelling in the middle
Bikers.
of the show.
It was crazy.
There was an Illinois versus Ohio State football game or something going on.
It's amazing.
It felt good. At one point, I played some Golden Tee during my set.
Yeah.
And I made a buddy of mine was like, hey, can I go with you? I want to see what like a comedy shit gig is.
No.
And I'm like, yeah, if you want, man. There's a dude I worked with. Richie was my boss in the shipping department at a post-production house. So I picked up this dude. He's from Buffalo. He played like bass and like metal bands. And
So
at
he's
some-
like, I'm in Hollywood, man.
Yeah. And at some
You
point,
take him to Lancaster.
dude, at some point, he had like toured with his band, and they were doing like these little dive bars. So we got there, and he's like, man, this might actually be worse. It was like, at least the places we were performing,
He's like, this is
there
where
was no one there.
Oh my
But
God.
people who were there knew what was going on. And I'm like, yeah, this is terrible. But then he got a real kick out of just how awful it was.
It was that place, the bar. I don't know if it's the same because there was 2 different places. The bar was right across from the prison, so I remember
I mean,
that one.
it does make it more exciting.
Yeah, is somebody there? Oh,
Damn.
The megastar Jessica Michelle Singleton is. She's hanging down.
she's just hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay, hi Jessica. She's a megastar. That's that place. That Burger booked me. That's my favorite. How he billed me.
What did he list you as?
So it's Nikki Glazer, Shannon Hatch. Remember
Oh, yeah,
Shannon?
Shannon Hatch, yeah.
And Jen Murphy.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm in the right spot.
This is
These
the
girls
broads
are,
of-
These girls make me laugh. They're
Yeah.
good, you know.
Yeah.
These are the funny girls you want to be. Shannon was really, Jen too, and
Yeah.
Nikki. Nikki was more the writer back. Like I always used to be like, wow, she writes so well. Jen and Shannon were just like fucking funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is great. So I go in, I'm all excited, and the 4 of us are on, and it says Nikki Glazer, VH1 or something like that, Jen Murphy, Comedy Central, Shannon Hatch, MTV, Eleanor Kerrigan, Dice's ex-fiance.
Love that. Love that.
Listen, you motherfuckers.
Hey, and
Berger was like, I did not write that. I don't know who wrote that. I
First
did
of
not.
all-
I did tell them, but I did not write that.
that's
That was my
the credit you want. When you're looking, first of all, you're looking at a flyer, and again,
I have to post it because I always tell Nikki Glazer about it, and I'm like, I have to post. I have to find
these
it.
are funny
But I definitely kept it.
comics. And so knowing them, I can look at it and go, "Oh, everyone's funny." But if you're just a dude and you're looking at that flyer and you're like, "I'm not gonna go fucking watch these chicks," and then you see Dice's ex-fiance, you go,
You might
"Well, hold on a fucking second. This chick might be all right." Minimum story. We're gonna get to hear a little bit about, what went into the Hickory Dickory doc.
Right. You know, maybe getting felt up by fingerless gloves. You might hear something.
Eleanor.
I remember I think we were in like Minnesota or something. It was, I don't even know where this place was. And we were playing this theater weird setup. And I decided to go, I was opening for Andrew, and I decided to say, people always ask why Andrew and I broke up, or Dice and I broke up. Sorry, I always say Andrew, but why Dice and I broke up. And I always say I regained consciousness, or
it's inappropriate.
Or it was either that would be my ending joke, or I would do, we broke up because, let me ask you, is this weird? Like when he came, he would always go,
yeah.
And they loved it.
Of course.
And Andrew was like, I'm keeping that.
That's mine now. Hot soup.
And every once in a while he'll do it, but we both kind of stopped doing it because it was just so stupid. But it was just a funny, I remember the people does he really?
Oh my God.
Looking at me like that must be
This
true.
is graphic. That sounds like I would have PTSD.
This girl's disgusting. Why'd you stay with him?
Hot soup!
Hot soup is one of the best ones. So.
It's one of the grosser ways to describe blowing a load on somebody.
I'm creative, Eleanor. I don't just say what everybody else says.
What am I going to say? I'm coming? Everybody says that.
You know who says that? Commoners. That's who says that.
Normals.
I'm not a commoner. Normals, yes. I was thinking about the filming that he did here. That was, some of us were hoping that it would become a real show.
Listen, if
he changed all the lighting in this fucking building. I remember Mitzi walked in and she couldn't see in the kitchen because Andrew had put red bulbs all in the fucking kitchen.
We need it for the art shots, Mitzi. Your daughter's udders.
That was from her memorial. What a better way.
Listen, there are very few
to
places in
speak
the
about-
world who can do a memorial like the Comedy Store.
You're right. We definitely have
Some of the best, people talk about
of the
Irish
great-
funerals.
Yeah.
This goes beyond that. It's insanity. The daughter of the comedy clubs passed away, and at her funeral, someone
It wasn't her. It was at Mitzi's funeral.
It was at Mitzi's
It was
funeral?
Mitzi's memorial. Yeah.
Paulie brought it up.
Paulie brought up
Dice
that
and-
Andrew and Sandy were dating, Mitzi's daughter.
Yeah.
Sandy wasn't there, but she was still alive at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. And he made Andrew uncomfortable.
And he was like, yeah, this guy used to sleep with my sister, guys.
Dude, right?
And it was I think he was trying to poke fun, but then Dice had to be Dice. You can't just go out there and be like, yeah, so I had to fuck this sister. But he just went in at a funeral in full Dice character. I was tugging on his sister's udders. It was the magic. It was one of those things just you don't get this a lot of.
Also, the Louis Anderson stuff. Louis Anderson was screaming, laughing, where everybody
Dying.
else was just mortified.
Louis walk around.
Hey, you eating those cookies? I'm on a diet, so I can't have it. So Mitzi would want me to have one. What am I saying?
Me and Don Barris were
Eating
talking
cookies.
about him. Remember Jeff Richards?
I remember him.
Would do the impression.
Put it on the board.
Top 5 answers on the board. So Don Barris was my favorite Jeff Richards. People would really believe that it was Louis because Jeff does such good impressions. And he'd be sitting in the back and Don Barris would be like, hey, man, why'd you stop doing the Family Feud, man? And Jeff Richards would be like, oh, this fucking kid couldn't keep his mouth shut. It's such a great line.
So dark.
Sorry, Louis. Sorry.
Mitzi would want me to have one. A young boy.
This kid couldn't keep his mouth shut. I forgot all about it. Because I was like, oh, yeah, Jeff used to do such a fucking good impression. And people would be like, oh, is that Louis? Is he going on?
I think
It's so
about
hot in here. Isn't it hot?
one of the best weird impressions of all time is still his Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka
Oh my God, yeah.
molester impression.
It was pretty molesting.
The whole thing is just about how creepy he is. There's a lot of finger banging that goes
Oh, yeah,
on. I believe
naturally.
in the the ins and outs.
He just like it's so like he gets real low. Yeah. I now it's coming to me. Dustin Hoffman. Oh my God.
There's no way of knowing where my finger's going. So creepy.
He really was creepy. Jeff and I'm just kidding. I miss Jeff.
Yeah.
I think he's in Florida too.
He moved away.
I think so. Either Florida or Portland. I don't know how I'm making that distinction
It's
so
either
badly, but
so it's very far left or very far right.
But I forget he had family in both, I think. So I'm not sure which way he went.
This is going to be the start of our new podcast, Tracking Down Paid Regulars, where we track down.
Where are they now?
People who.
Oh my God, that would be a great segment. Where are they now?
And so then we get to travel around and interview
we
these
find
lunatics.
Barry Diamond.
It's always, Barry Diamond's still got to be in
Jackie
LA. Because there's no way that they would let a Barry Diamond loose in a different city.
Oh, man.
But
he could have gotten mad
we
over
track down your the love of your life, Mike Ricca, upstate New York.
I don't know if he's
Jonathan
upstate,
Gossick's probably roaming the woods of the Pacific Northwest or something.
Isn't he teaching somewhere?
I have no idea.
So good.
The last I saw him was right before he went crazy on the Pauly Shore bus.
Like what we could do is start it. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Were you on the bus with them?
No, I was not on the tour at that point, and but I got a phone call while he was missing in the woods from the security guard.
Right.
Terrell.
That's it. Yeah.
He's like, "Your boy's crazy."
Your boy
My
is
boy?
crazy. My boy.
He's like, "You said he was cool." I'm like, "I said he was all right. He seemed all right."
Jonathan's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was on drugs or.
Allegedly, someone said that they believed he had been. Someone gave him acid.
And it just didn't go well.
And whether or not he knew it or not, I don't know. But at some point, he apparently thought that Pauly Shore was going to try and rape him. So he kicked the door open on the tour bus and bailed out into the Carolina night. Ran into the woods.
Drugs aren't for everybody, people.
No. Most people. They're for most people.
I'll never forget. I think it only happened once, but Oshak got high. And I've never seen anything that crazy. All the stereotypes about smoking weed happened to him.
All of them.
The paranoia, frightened. Sometimes it just doesn't work for people.
Yeah, some people don't like it. Is Oshak still in L.A.?
Yeah, he still writes for Bill Maher.
He used to.
Well, he's
They're
probably on strike
right now.
Robert. I should call him and see if he can come in.
Yeah,
Bobby, you have enough time now.
We know you're not up to anything.
We should call him and just be like, listen, it's Friday night. I know you're not doing a fucking thing.
He'd get in trouble
Your
probably.
kids are out. Oh, yeah, his wife, maybe. What do you mean?
Know.
No, I mean, his kids, maybe his son's still in high school, but his daughter's definitely in college. Yeah, I can't believe his kids are that. Oh, man, that's fucking crazy. That is crazy. Think of Oshak with kids. He's never done the podcast. He's always blown me off. We've gotten this
so
close.
Smart.
How dare you?
For years, I tried to get Chris D'Elia on this podcast.
Same.
I took a look at my text messages.
There was one time he told me he had a headache, and I'm like, we're not trying to fuck, bitch.
Damn. That's ice cold.
Yeah, Chris.
She used that line. But yeah, he didn't even respond to any of my requests.
Like text messages or online?
Text messages.
Let me ask you this. Was it like, hey, are you around to do the podcast? Or was it like, you want to fuck and then do the pod? Like, what did you say to him? Because I know you used to fuck with Chris a lot.
First of all, I would never aggressively send text messages to someone like that. They were very friendly, casual. Hey, would you be interested in doing the Comedy Store podcast? This is Rick Ingram. You might remember me from the Comedy Store. Please reach out if you need anything. Just like friendly. I was super friendly.
Okay. But no
Nothing.
ideas, no pitches.
I mean, very few TV show pitches were involved. There was a couple.
Okay.
He had an opportunity to work on a show called Blowjobs with Lucy. And
that sounds interesting to me.
13 Lucifers. That was something I pitched to him at one point.
I like this. And he turned this down?
He turned her down.
Wow. Go into the Lucy thing more. I want to know about this.
Blowjobs with Lucy.
Yeah.
Lucy was this chick, and she was really into blowjobs. And these dudes, they just did like dude stuff, and sometimes she gave them blowjobs.
Oh, I like this.
And it was
It's very simple. It's a very simple premise.
It was an ABC family.
Low maintenance.
Show.
Not a lot of money.
And we always used innuendo, so it was like a 70s sitcom. Where she didn't just come out and be like, I want to suck your dick. And they were like, Lucy.
Oh, Lucy.
It was always some sort of an innuendo, so that way the people in middle America would be like, what do you think she means? And if they don't want to know. But it was full frontal. There was a lot of blowjobs on there.
Okay. And this is ABC?
That was ABC. It was part of the Friday night lineup. TGIF.
Okay. He had more connections at NBC, no?
Hard to tell. He passed up a lot of gold. There was one that was just a reality show where it's just going to be me and Dalia doing on Lake Havasu.
Makes sense.
But just like aggressive, fast and furious type cuts.
Yeah.
Didn't respond at all.
Because he turned all these down, were you the one who led the charge in canceling him?
I wouldn't say that I was trying to cancel him, but I would say that if we had, some projects on the table, I would have done a lot more to prevent, any bad things from happening.
Makes
whatever
sense.
that means.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we'll never know. Is that an innuendo?
Murder. That's symbolism, in case anyone is...
Got it. Yeah. See, I'm not real good, so I didn't know. I thought it was an innuendo.
No, that's the blowjob show.
Got it.
Completely different.
Completely different.
You've been doing a lot of East Coast stuff.
Yes.
Where have you been, and how terrible is it?
It's not terrible. It's great.
The
New York,
East Coast.
Listen, first of all, look at this bruise right here. This is from my suitcase, and
Eleanor, if you need us to call somebody, if someone is doing that
look
to
how
you.
white I am, and that thing got so. Anyway, every time I see it, I get pissed off because I just literally was running through the airport in Orlando, and I pinched I was so fucking mad.
Did everybody
I would
hear?
have punched Mickey Mouse right in that dick.
Did everybody hear the pride with which she said, "Look how white I am"? She was so excited about that.
My hair went into a point as I said it. Look how white.
It was like someone test my purity.
I'm so white. I'm wearing vanilla cream perfume, so I can't get white enough. I got to get in the sun for real. It's uncomfortable. But so East Coast, yeah. So like we did the Paramount in Long Island. Fucking great theater.
Okay.
We'll be back there December 17th if anybody wants to come. Always a fun. Fucking crowds are wild. Long Island's just so much fun. But even in the city, I've been doing like a lot of spots. New York City.
What's the best clubs? And by best clubs, I mean who's giving you stage time?
Everyone's really nice. I gotta be honest. Like the Cellar, the Stand,
You're
New
an
York Comedy
aggressive
Club.
alpha chick, so they're into that probably.
Maybe. And I push a lot. And I just I haven't been to this club in a while, but I did Gotham a couple weeks ago.
Never been there. They've never invited me there once.
I did have a showcase there, and I told the guy, when I went on stage, I told the story. I go, I haven't been here in a long time, and I did a showcase. Remember Jenny McCarthy had that, it was like Tiffany
Brain
Haddish.
issue where she wasn't smart?
No, aside from that, she had, she was doing like a comedy tour.
Okay.
Paula Bell was on it. And it was like killer.
Tammy Pascatelli. Yeah.
It was like killer comedy. I was like, damn. And I forget the name of it. Women something about women who kill. I don't know. Something like that. So I was like, fuck yeah. Tiffany Haddish did it. So I was like, this would be great. So they were doing a season. She was doing a second tour, and she wanted to change up the girls. So I put up my own money. I flew into New York. They lost my luggage. It was like a nightmare gig. I go to Gotham. I go on stage. There was 2 people that had good sets, and I was one of them. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I did watch the whole store. I did watch the whole showcase.
Yeah.
Traeger was the other one.
Okay.
Killed.
Not bad for a Soviet.
Fell in love with her
Yeah.
that night. And I was like, oh my God, who the fuck is this girl? Right?
Yeah.
And so it was a tough room. It was a weird room. But I did, at the time, I was doing this bit about the word retarded. And I just kept saying it.
Inappropriate. We never say it. We
And
don't think it's funny.
by the way, it was crushing.
I'm trying to get on SNL, guys. I'm saying all the right
It was
things.
crushing.
Yeah.
I didn't know her son had an issue. It didn't come out till after. Like,
Well,
whatever.
first of
I
all,
don't pay attention.
it came at first. She's one of the people who
She's
spread
the vaccine nut.
craziness.
I didn't know any of
and
that.
how it caused his autism. And then eventually she got him actually tested by the right people, and he didn't even have autism. That's what's this lady.
So I literally.
Anyway, tune in to Singled Out.
She was so fucking good on that. She was so
great.
funny. Mike Ricca was on there.
Yeah, but she.
I remember doing extra work.
She was
with her.
fun. She was like she
was
played the
fucking
retard.
fun. Yes.
She was the aggressive retard. That was her gig. And then Chris Hardwick was there, just be like, "Oh my God, we're coming back. Everybody's gonna be."
There was this fucking big manager lady there. Well, big in her eyes, but not big in my eyes, because that company is fucking.
Yeah, you're trash.
So, not that they'll ever listen to this, but.
Yep.
And
those graphic
this
sound effects. She doesn't usually do that.
This twat, right? Because I never met Jen. She never came.
Yeah.
To she was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And whatever, I may have said retard like 5 to 20 times. That's not the point.
20 times less than you should have. Yeah.
They were loving it. And anyway.
This is honestly the fault of the crowd.
But why? Because they liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have said
I blame
it.
them. Yeah. But what I was saying, I wasn't even saying, I was just talking about the word and how, whatever. So it was just a silly bit, and how they come up with new words for it, like nincompoop. It was just dumb things that people from Philly could never say without getting beat up. Whatever. So it was a dumb bit, but whatever. It was killing in that moment. And I thought, oh, this is great. I'm having a good set. I'm feeling good about myself. That fucking manager, she came backstage and she was so fucking nasty. She gave me the meanest look. And I swear to God, I hope her asshole falls off. Like, I'm sorry. I still have a little resentment for this twat.
Eleanor, you turned full East Coaster just now.
What year was this?
Shut your fucking hole. I'm sorry. The anger's still in me.
So, sis, she wanted this lady's asshole to fall off.
Were the towers still up?
No.
Okay. So we're not talking 20 years.
Oh, no. I've only been doing stand-up 16 years. So I was dating Ronnie. So this had to be, because Ronnie was mad at me. Like, you're going to go to New York? Yeah.
Ronnie was always trying to fuck. If you guys know
And he
about
had a big
Eleanor's
cock, so I let
extensive
him-
dating history, it's Dice, Ari, and Ronnie.
Whoa. Ari?
Ari Shafir.
What?
Danish
Why
said you
would
guys
you-
dated.
Oh, no.
We went to lunch.
Oh, no.
Once. And it wasn't a date. We were
Eleanor
both
and Ari
working here
Shafir
during the day.
single-handedly took out Kobe Bryant.
No, we didn't. I believe it was near your house. So,
All right, so
maybe
it
you're more
wasn't-
responsible.
It was. We don't need to talk about it. But so you're dating Ronnie. So this wasn't that
so
long
this had
ago.
to be maybe like 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
I have to look up that tour if you can.
Do you know people who
you're
worked there
supposed to
that
be
were
a
terrible?
producer.
That was my home club. You mean Dirty Sexy Funny Tour?
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
no.
it.
Yeah.
You were on it?
No, I used to be at Gotham a
He
lot.
was
so I would see
dirty
when it was
and
there.
sexy.
Sure. So remember that?
Yeah, she had a great
What year
tour.
was that? That was
That was, I think, 2013.
It wasn't that long
2014.
ago. Okay, it wasn't. I mean, it was like 9 years.
What a year.
Yeah.
What a year.
So, and I remember, like, I was really excited to do it.
Well, it was a big deal at the time because she had the
Right?
Sirius XM show. She just
Yeah.
She
Dirty, sexy, funny. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I was dirty and funny.
Damn. Come on, Eleanor. Get that confidence out there. There it is. Sex
Sorry.
appeal.
But I just remember being like, I loved all the girls involved. Paula Bell, fucking hilarious. Tammy Pascatelli, one of my
Yeah,
fucking
she's
favorites.
great.
Tiffany Haddish was on. April Macy was on it for a while. Like, it was just a fun. It had like a cool fun, and they were going everywhere. So I was like, this would be fucking killer.
Justine Marino was on some of the shows. I think she was doing Boston. Yeah,
She
I guess
she might have been the MC. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
she was the
so.
first
yeah,
one
yeah.
up.
I just
It's
remember.
bullshit that they didn't even give me a chance because I'm a guy.
Well, it wound
Sexism.
up falling apart, whatever it was, and so that fucking twat manager from Levity, you know who you are, bitch, and
You hear me?
she just pretends she's something she ain't. She's just a little fucking squat twat.
Is she still repping people? Could I get my name in
You
the?
probably could. She'd probably rep you. Just don't tell her you know me.
What I'm gonna
I've
tell
had-
her. What I'm gonna tell her is that I'm very pro retard, and if she can't get on board with that, then she can't make $1 million.
Do you think that they let us host the Comedy Store podcast because we are like the rejects of the Comedy Store? I gotta be honest. The two of us have had some fucking bizarro
I think
industry bullshit.
What's going on with this podcast at this point, and I honestly doubt that there's anybody listening at all. But
That's not true.
if there's
People
anyone
have been
listening,
emailing me going, "What the fuck is going
It's
on?"
not true. You guys are the second biggest podcast on here.
Wait a minute. That's not.
that doesn't feel good.
That's not why it's second.
Nobody wants
did
the
we get
silver
second?
fucking medal.
Well, you haven't done a podcast together in about 4 months, so Justin took the #1
You
spot.
motherfuckers, Justin. That's bullshit.
The only reason that this podcast still exists is the same reason that Ted Danson's Becker was on for so many years.
Wait a
and
minute. You
that's-
didn't like Becker?
No one knows that it was on at all, so they can't cancel it. We're like Milton from Office
I was
Space.
just gonna say that.
Turns out we canceled the
Have
podcast
you
in
seen my stapler? He took my
2012,
stapler.
but they just keep showing up and recording episodes.
So we went ahead and fixed the glitch.
We're gonna have you guys move the podcast down to the basement, if that's all right.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's because we're
great
not going to be doing
movie.
podcasts anymore in the Comedy Store podcast studio, apparently.
Holy shit. So
That's all right, because I'm actually getting ready to move all of my creativity, focusing strictly on slapstick radio sketches.
Okay. I like this. Early morning kind of vibey.
A little bit more just kind of like silly, and we're looking for that 13 to 17-year-old demographic. Something in the spirit of Adam Sandler's They're All Gonna Laugh at You.
Oh, that sounds like Carrie, Sissy Spacek. They're all gonna laugh at you. You don't know that movie?
I have no idea what we're talking about right now.
Me either.
Is that if someone does an impression?
Adam Sandler. What is the Adam Sandler? They're all gonna laugh
That's
at
his
you.
album.
That's his album that came out
I
in
wonder
like
if that's
That was my
1993.
first comedy album.
Play.
Me too. I got it for
It
Christmas.
was pretty
one year.
good. Cock and
I thought
Balls.
it was great.
Wasn't that Cock and Balls?
No, that was the second one.
Oh, okay, that was my first.
They're All Gonna Laugh at You was the one that had like it had the Thanksgiving song on
Yes. Okay.
it, and then it had
I don't.
like
I
the
don't.
severe beating of a high school janitor. that was like the
I
level
don't know what
of
this
sketch.
is, but I like it.
Mop, mop, mop all day long. And then it's, hey, you can't walk there. I just mopped. And then just the violent sound of a man getting beaten. You beat me with my own mop.
He is a quirky dude.
Oh, it's so
his
funny.
stand-up though, I don't think I know. Well, is this it?
I'm gonna play the severe beating of a janitor. The
Hold
beating
on,
of a
I wanna
high
hear
school
this.
janitor.
It's so ridiculous.
And the album's called "They're All Gonna Laugh at You."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you he got it from Carrie. It's so stupid.
Mop all day long. Mop, mop, mop while I sing that song. Gonna wax that floor, gonna make it shine. Gonna take off the spray paint with turpentine. Hey! Don't walk there, I just mopped! Hey! Get off, Ernie! That's my bucket! Ah!
That's my bucket.
That's my.
Oh, my sideburns!
Look at all my sideburns. It's genius.
32-second track.
Oh my god.
This was my second comedy album. My first one was his second album.
Yeah.
Google,
Because I'm a little bit older.
Sissy
so it
Spacek,
makes sense.
Carrie. They're all gonna laugh at you.
No, I know.
Eleanor,
Do
no one
it.
wants.
I want to hear
No
it.
one is.
I want to
All
hear
right.
her say it. The mom says it.
What the buffoon skits on the Adam Sandler one? Those are also great. He basically plays a retard. It's amazing.
They're all his characters.
It's so funny.
Kathleen Turner has big fucking tits.
Are they beautiful?
There she is. So scary. Not now, when I watched it as a kid.
Yeah, good save.
We just watched it.
Sosis, what is this? Why are we...
It's really creepy that there's no picture. What's wrong with you?
The audio from Carrie? You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't just show how scary it is? My brother Billy can't look at Carrie. He can't look at Sissy Spacek.
He's not coming. He is coming, Mama. Now stop it. I'm nervous enough.
This is where Adam Sandler got they're all going to laugh at you, just FYI.
No, he's not coming.
They're all going to laugh at you.
He's not going to come.
This is my dating life now.
No way. Stop it, Mama. Stop hurting yourself, Mama. He's going to laugh at you. They're all going to
They're going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you.
You can stay here with me. I don't want to stay with you, Mama. Look, I'll answer the door and I'll tell him that you're sick. I'll tell him that you changed your mind. Sit down and be quiet.
It was pretty funny.
That's it.
She's got an eye for funny. That's
Fucking-
for sure.
This is very funny.
They're
by
all
the
gonna
way.
laugh at
They're all
you.
gonna laugh at you. We tortured people. It was more my older brothers and sisters used to watch it, so they would just anything we did as a kid. They're all gonna laugh at you. Or my sister would throw things at me and say, "Plug it up," because she got her period.
Listen, you missed out on
Adam Sandler's.
prepubescent Adam Sandler CDs. It was an amazing time.
But I never listened.
They
This
got
is-
the buffoon's date with the valedictorian.
Yeah.
Now this
so
I mean,
kid,
Cock and Balls is just, I would sit there and listen to
that the name of the album,
That was
Cock
the
and
name
Ball?
of the track. And it's just his mother talking about his cock and balls.
it was so ridiculous. I
See,
was.
I didn't pay attention to comedy
I
at
think
all.
I was
Me
like,
neither. I couldn't tell. When people say their favorite comedy album, favorite comedy special, I have none. I have like Chris Rock, Bigger and Blacker. That's like, I don't know.
Bring the Pain. Better.
Or
Bring the Pain was the
yeah.
first comedy special I
But
ever
the only
watched.
reason I know that one is because I was dating his agent and we went on tour with him.
Dice
Yeah.
was my first comedy special on pay-per-view, and my parents, I think, almost got divorced because my dad let me watch it.
Hold on a second.
My brothers would play Day the Laughter Died a lot. I remember that. So I remember them like reciting dumb shit. And then I remember the poems from the Rodney thing.
I remember my
But
dad
Dom Irera
listening
was
to
our favorite.
Steve Martin albums, and that's about the extent of comedy.
Steve Martin, my brother Johnny used to listen to that and do
Yeah.
the fucking King Tut song. And I was like,
Right.
yeah, whatever. He's
But
like, you don't
with
think
Adam
this is
Sand-
hilarious? I'm like, not really.
My friends, no one was allowed to listen to this album because I had the parental advisory, and we were losers in suburban Kansas. My mom and dad gave it to me for Christmas, so everyone was allowed to come over and sit in my basement and listen to
So Cock and Balls.
Adam Sandler, all of them. We would
I
just sit
love
there and
it.
listen to them for hours. They were
So-
so dumb.
He's
Amazing,
more
though.
PG then, obviously.
These are
His-
rated R for sure.
Oh, they are?
Cock and balls.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, I guess so. Cock and balls.
Yeah.
But he said you said your parents gave it to you.
They didn't care. My parents are so liberal. They're just like, whatever, you can listen to bad words.
Right.
And it's like the buffoon talking to the valedictorian. She's like having a conversation with him, and he's like,
I've got really hairy balls.
and I just thought, this is so genius.
Why?
Because it's so dumb. I was 12, and I'm just like, this is the funniest shit of all time.
But but you listening to that, like just that little clip, you can see how all his it's every movie. It's
Yeah.
every
Of course.
character in every movie. That's great.
He had a formula. of
100%.
Just keep it stupid. Keep
Yeah.
it simple,
Keep
stupid.
it silly.
Keep it stupid,
Keep
simple.
it silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's why he's so. He like just keeps it stupid. Everything
Mm-hmm.
is just silly, stupid.
Good-hearted. And
My mother hates when we watch Adam Sandler. I know we love it. Like I can't get enough. My nephew now, he's 12. He can't watch Grown Ups enough.
Yeah.
I think there's two of them. He's obsessed with them, and then he'll quote them.
I thought it was funny on tour, like random kids who were probably like 10 to 18 would stop Chris and be like, oh, I'd love you on Grown Ups. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I can't believe people watch Grown Ups.
Right.
Because it was part of an era where I was already a comedian. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch some.
I don't think
family
I've ever
movie.
seen it.
I haven't. I
Yeah,
have
but
no
he
idea.
made some movies for even between grown-ups. Like I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. I think that was great for an adult
I did
movie.
see that one.
That one was hilarious, and
Yeah.
now it probably would have gotten canceled because of all the gay jokes in it.
Right. But it's all the same people.
Yeah, he puts
I mean,
his
with the
friends in
exception
it.
of, okay, Kevin James is in this one, but
Like Rob Schneider
yep.
still works because of.
all the
Sandler.
firemen are, yeah,
New
that
special on Fox News or Fox Nation.
what?
I was cracking up. I saw that
What?
Robert Kennedy Jr.
Oh, how great.
tweeting at Rob Schneider. Thank you for your courage over the last 4 years of dying.
Rob Schneider's new special is on Fox Nation.
Oh, my God.
Well, what's up with these woke libtards? Am I right?
What
The
did he
libtards,
say?
the libtardinators, making copies.
Is Robert F. Kennedy a Republican?
He's basically
He's a middle grounder, I thought.
he's basically a conspiracy theorist
He's
that's
running as a
pretending
Democrat.
he's
Tell you
a
this,
Democrat.
He's got a hell of a body. I
mean-
mean, do a push-up, Bobby. I love it.
You mean Earl Skakel's cousin?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Just make sure we're clarify. I think it's his.
Oh, that would be his cousin,
I
right?
would,
cousin.
I would vote for Skakel before I voted for Robert Kennedy Jr.
I'm voting for Kennedy. My mom thinks we're Kennedy.
And every time I see someone being like, everyone's scared to debate him because they know he's right, I'm like, well, I don't have to follow that person anymore.
He is obsessed on what he talks about, throwing facts out. Like, there was one thing, I forget what he was talking about, but I was like, I'm going to look that up. And then I completely forgot about it because I was curious if he was right
was counting
or
on that.
nutty.
Yeah, he's
I
a
don't
little
know
out
who's
there.
right and wrong.
People, you can like whoever you like, but if you like this guy, you're a fucking moron. You hear
Really?
me? You hear me? You like him for 1 split second, I swear to God. Smash your head into a wall, you fucking dummy.
Why? He's a Kennedy. That's American royalty.
Every single American needs
love
to
this.
get all the vaccines. Do you hear me? All the vaccines.
Because if
they
we're
got
miserable,
you're
you
gonna
got to
get
be
it.
miserable.
These vaccines are going to cure that fucking problem you have, which is fucking breathing. You hear what I'm saying? Take the vaccines.
I got vaccinated. Now one tit's bigger than the other. What do I do?
Damn, not bad. See, there's a lot of
Why
benefits.
couldn't they both grow? Johnson and Johnson, thank you.
Do you think there's any way before you blow this pop stand, you could
yeah.
get the U.S. government to sponsor our podcast?
I mean, not after this.
We'll push whatever.
I mean, it's kind of bullshit that you're leaving us in the middle of our run.
We're trying to get the U.S. government to
presidential-
sponsor this podcast.
Yeah.
And you just don't even give a fuck?
I'm getting RFK.
any
to come
government.
I
here.
mean, they honestly might, because now that they don't have to pay back college tuition debt,
Yeah.
they have all this extra money. They could probably sponsor this.
I'm trying to get out of an SBA loan. Is that possible?
What the fuck is that?
I don't care
I
if
don't know.
I don't care if it's a different government. If it's
it's
the
somebody-
Any government? I can get
If-
Russia here in a second.
Oh, you know what? Let's definitely, if you can get Russia, the government of Russia to sponsor this podcast,
That'd
we
be
will fucking
amazing.
do it.
You want to
Yeah.
do you want to do? Let's do a test run.
Yeah, I'll do
You're
it.
promoting Russia.
Just in
Oh,
general.
we're pro Russia.
Russia's the product that we're selling. Go.
Are we
Okay.
pro Russia or pro
No, we're pro-
Ukraine? I mean, Nelly might come
Russia's
down.
our
sponsoring,
sponsor,
yeah,
so-
Russia's our
Oh, okay.
sponsor.
Okay, we're sick and tired of all the bad mouthing of Russia. You are watching Comedy Store podcast, sponsored by Russia, greatest nation of all time. If you don't think so, you're full of Bolshevik. And cut.
That's,
I think we're gonna get them. I
We'll
think
be
we're
able to.
That would be.
We should be able to cut that down at least into a wrestling promo.
I don't
if
see
nothing
why
else.
not. I mean, I could see Rick in a singlet saying that. That would help more with a little Russian star, like a red with the flag. You know,
Yeah.
Don't they have the little star right there? Perfect. Put the star over your nuts, cock 'em balls.
It's not a bad plan. We can maybe talk to Sandler about some cross promotion.
It's a shame I'm leaving now. All these
Adam.
great ideas are coming out of you guys.
I
This is
always. That's the
insane.
thing
I've
about
been here
me,
2
man.
years. We couldn't start these ideas.
He's an idealist.
I only get the good ideas when the pressure's on, man.
Right, right.
I don't study until
How
the
many
night
more
before the
days?
test.
53.
Oh man. I don't know if we can make it happen. In
Two
50
choices, red or dead. You make decision tonight. Comedy Store podcast.
I don't know why, but
Cut it. Second promo in the fucking can.
I feel like the Iron Sheik is rolling in his grave. Like, why didn't this happen when I was alive? Come on,
Pile
man.
of shit. I could have been the new Nikolai Volkov.
He did sound like him a little bit, the Iron Sheik. I don't know what that was. That was like a cross between Count Dracula and...
I do
like
one
it, though.
accent. It's all of
What is
Europe.
this? yeah.
I have really bad British accent and then the rest of Europe all in
What's
one
your
group.
British accent?
It's just basically Austin Powers. It's a mix between Paul McCartney and Austin Powers.
Ooh, okay.
And then everyone else gets
Paul
mixed in.
McCartney, your new best friend? Paul McCartney?
Well, I mean, one of
Have you spoken to him
my
since?
biggest fans
Right.
is how I would describe
Have
him.
you two hung
We're
out?
not friends. When someone is obsessive,
Oh, right,
you don't
right,
want to
right.
hang out with them that
Yeah,
much.
it's a little much.
But yeah, the guy loves me. Obviously, I could be in the Beatles if I wanted to be.
Ooh.
But
All these ideas, man. He's going to start the Beatles again, and you're just going to miss it, John. I don't know why you got to be this way.
who cares about Ukraine? It's about comedy, man. Keep listening. Comedy Store podcast sponsored by Russia. Greatest nation of all time. Number one in bear fucking. Number one in tiger fucking. Number one in rhinoceros fucking. Cut it. Three promos straight out of the bag.
And scene. Yeah.
I don't know if TikTok is ready for these kinds of
TikTok
ads.
is not ready for this.
People are going to be so mad, but the truth is, you go where the money is. Steven Seagal taught us that much.
Yeah. I mean, he knew
This podcast is under siege. Not bad.
this podcast is under siege. This is glorious. I
feel like
this,
we've been
Rick.
down here for 3 hours. How
I
long?
was just going to say, I don't know how long we've been down here.
It's been an hour and 2 minutes.
That's it?
That's all we got? You tried to kill our czar!
You got to stop yelling. You're going to make the Ukraine waitress come down here.
Oh, man. She's going to be
Nelly
so
is going
fucking
to come
mad.
running down here. Who's down here? That's my Ukrainian accent. It's not good. It's not good. I don't know how to do... I'm trying to think of a Russian, and what happens to me is I'm just going to do it the way you do it.
Yeah, and you're going to go Ivan Drago at best.
Really?
If he dies, he dies.
No, that wasn't good.
No.
If I'm trying to think of a Ukrainian. Yeah, see, I can't do it. You know, when I was watching Stripes, and that's the best.
We're not talking about Moscow. We're talking about Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia, man. We're in, we're out. So good.
One of the greatest movies of all
My
time.
mom, me and my brother Charlie are watching it, and immediately when she puts it on, we're like,
Yeah.
and then she goes,
Hooked.
"This is really stupid," and we're like, "What?" Like,
She just doesn't get it.
it's so good, and it was the Czechoslovakia part, so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Lithgow, I mean, he's so good in that. I mean, no, John, what's his name?
Harold Ramis,
No,
Bill Murray,
no, Night Court, the guy, John
Larroquette.
Larroquette. I'm sorry, not Lithgow. Larroquette.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's so
Like
annoyingly.
every 80s movie, they just have a scene where he's just watching women shower. He has a.
The
he pulls out
binoculars
a.
go through the window.
First.
It's
And also
so
just like,
dumb.
why is there a shower room with open windows in direct
And
sight?
they're just like,
Yeah, and they're soaping their tits up.
every woman in the 80s
Oh,
just
yes.
took a shower by an open
and he-
window and just
He's
really
like
got in
literally,
there.
oh, you dirty, you're dirty. Clean yourself.
Sir,
Sir, someone's here. What? You're just mumbling and.
And then they took his van, like they you know, they're
Yeah.
out in the, no one gets in there. Like, it's just, he's so great.
He's phenomenal. Great
Everybody
movie.
in that, everybody.
But
Francis.
all you needed was the Soviet Union, and you had a bad guy, and it was perfect.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Yeah,
And now it's back again.
finally, the world is right. Russia is evil.
Russia.
I'm kidding, of course. Russia is number one. This Russian lady.
Yakov, that's who you sound like.
Oh yeah.
What a country.
Huh? We had.
I don't know why we do Vat.
What was Yakov's? Russia was so mad that America landed on the moon. Gorbachev said, we must land on the sun. And they said, it's too hot to land on the sun. And he said, no, you idiot, we're landing at night. And that just destroyed in like 1989.
Crushing. Still crushing. Probably still doing it in
Branson,
Missouri. I think he's still there.
I think
he was here for a while.
Back. He moved back during COVID because he wasn't going to have his freedoms impeded on again.
I gotta be
came
honest.
From that.
That is the beauty of Florida. In that movie theater, it was like BC before COVID. It was unbelievable.
That's how it was everywhere I went.
In Florida, or just
everywhere for them. Like, I mean, there was like 5 places in the whole world where I went where people were like still COVID-y. It's like New Zealand.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Seattle. Yeah. But like everywhere else, people were just like, no, life. We already moved on.
We're not.
Most of America doesn't give a fuck. All the downtowns are.
The movie
Walking
theaters were
Dead.
fucking packed. Two separate sets of kids and parents walked out where the girls were crying. They couldn't get in Little Mermaid because it was sold out.
America, man, we did it.
And I was like, wow.
You hear us, COVID? We ain't scared no more.
I ain't scared of you. Come out like Bernie Mac.
we have 0 cases. Russia, #1, no COVID.
Did you ever remember Bernie Mac, Def Jam?
Love Bernie.
I ain't scared of y'all. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I think it was something like that. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
I still can't believe they haven't canceled him for his bit about how you should be able to punch a child in the neck.
I don't think I know this bit.
Until a child is 8 years old, you should be able to punch him in the neck or the stomach. It was just a bit about how...
He also had a lot of bad, like, gay bits, like how that was just so taboo and not...
Yeah.
I remember seeing those, like, oh, shite.
Yeah.
But his Def Jam appearance after Chris Tucker absolutely annihilated. And everybody was afraid to go on. And Bernie,
Eleanor was fucking Chris Tucker back then.
Eleanor was fucking everybody. When he went up, first of all, his outfit alone, glorious. Unbelievable, glorious. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Def Jam.
No, I think this is the one. Is this the one where he hits the kids?
Oh. Look at those fucking eyes. He needs subtitles.
Everybody talking about kids. Everybody talking about how bad kids is. You know it's bad. But see, you can't say kids bad. I say it for you. These motherfuckers bad.
I say it for you. Look at that outfit.
Kid up. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying what you can't say. You feel the same goddamn way I feel. Some bitch kids are goddamn smart for me. Sassy, talking head, shaking shit. Talk to the hand, talk to the hand.
You fucking kids.
Some from old school, I'll kick a kid ass. When a kid get 1 year old, I believe he got the right to hit him in the throat or the stomach.
1 year old. I overshot it.
He's a comic that used to make me laugh. The Kings of Comedy tour, that was like probably my first special.
It's amazing.
Oh,
that I've
yeah.
ever
Bernie
seen.
Mac is amazing.
All this here.
Eleanor, do you have anything to promote coming up? We're going to be in Montreal.
Yes, that is a big
Comedy
deal.
Store show in Montreal. Get your tickets now. They are selling like hotcakes.
Unbelievably.
I'm not gonna
selling
lie to
so
you.
fast with the maple syrup. We don't have enough maple syrup in Canada for the hotcakes.
They're about ready
that are our
to
tickets.
drop a big time low ticket warning on you guys.
LTW coming.
But it's going to get
LTW coming your way.
LTW'd. And they only do that when there is a lot of tickets sold. Something to keep in mind. We're going to be doing this podcast up there too in French.
Yes.
Je
Oui, oui.
m'appelle Richard. Comment allez-vous?
Don't make me sing Rudolph in French. I've done it before. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
That's not bad. Is that Russian?
No, that's French.
I'm going to
Has
do...
a very shiny nose.
I
Why
will
they
be-
use that picture? I keep forgetting to tell them no.
I will be...
Why do I look
I'll
like
be doing Jeff
fucking
Garland's
Bernie Mac right
French
there?
bit
What's
You ever notice how the French people are always singing, "Oh, je veux le guay, oh, je veux"? And I'll just be destroyed. It'll be like,
I've never heard this bit. Is this a real? Is this a real bit?
you ever notice French people are always singing? "Oh, le victoire, le blah." Anyway, it's one of his
amazing.
better bits.
That is a great bit. What happened? I thought Steph Tola was on with us. She's not?
She might.
I don't know.
Well, buy your tickets, guys. Look at this.
Get those tickets.
11:59. Come on, man. We're all partying.
Damn.
On a Wednesday.
Hey, Justin, on a Wednesday. Come on. It's Montreal. It's the summer.
Yeah, so
Me,
come
look
check
at
that
those
out.
eyes.
Where
I
else
mean,
are you going to be performing?
Where else are you going to see Steve Buscemi in drag? What the fuck is that?
Serial
Eleanor?
killer.
That's the worst picture I've ever seen.
That's like you just murdered someone, but you also farted.
I got to get my shit together.
Meanwhile, look at fucking Playboy
Rick,
over
look
here.
at fucking Cool Mo D over there.
Johnny Cool Guy.
Shit. Justin's furious. Who's he pissed at?
He's got a bad attitude because it's chic.
And he looks topless, and I like it. I mean,
So come out to that. If you don't come out to that,
we won't talk to you anymore.
Don't go to a different show. That's the main thing.
Rick
you either
is
come
huge
to our
in
show.
Canada, so
I got a big following up there. It's a wonderful country. In all honesty, there's a lot of beautiful people who are of different ethnicities, and then the ugliest whites you've ever seen in your life. Canada, we've got the ugly whites.
Montreal. Come on, Montreal. Come
We'll
out.
never let Canada sponsor this podcast because
Oh.
Canada is country of weak people.
Oh, Canada.
Soviet Union. I'm not sure if they're.
I like this mix.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not positive
Canadian
on how
Soviet Union.
the Soviet Union's national anthem goes, but I assume it's to the tune of "Oh Canada," and they just say Soviet Union a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, definitely.
Our union is Soviet. You are watching Comedy Store Podcast. Tune in next week, live from Belarus. Is that a cut? Do we got?
Cut, guys. I mean, that's a print. That's a wrap.
I think the biggest issue is that the Soviet Union ended in 1991. I don't think that's the best promo.
How dare you? But we're bringing it back in
Look
Canada.
who's
That's what we're saying.
They're still believing what the mainstream media is telling
right?
them. Soviet Union is stronger than ever. When was the last
Stronger,
time you heard
bigger.
of Kazakhstan doing something independently, I ask?
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah, we're out of here.
Comedy gold, guys. Or
So,
bronze.
Another
Actually, maybe
podcast
silver.
48 weeks in a row without missing a single podcast.
I forgot we were silver, not gold anymore.
If you guys didn't hear the last 30 weeks of episodes, that's because they only went to our exclusive listeners on
That's
our
right.
our Patreon.
We started a Patreon.
And if you're interested, they are only released on dual cassette. One side is our podcast, the other side is the Pidcast. So
It's when the Soviet Union was a thing.
ain't no comparison. They can be the Czech Republic and Slovakia all they want.
Yeah.
They're going to be Czechoslovakia in my book.
No comparison.
Ain't no comparison. All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you.